Kelly, so he doubts they'll be able to get everything that we want. He doubts they'll be able to get everything that we're trying to. Because I've got 3 or 4 just little stuff.
Yeah, mine are showing. It's just that 5 Oaks. I was so afraid if it went through the winter, they'd have a whole lot of rocking and green jade.
Good morning, everyone. If everyone's ready, before we'll go call this meeting to order or fiscal court to order, I'm going to ask Chris to lead us in prayer.
Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for this opportunity to come and see about the business of Logan County, Lord. Just ask that you give us the wisdom and the guidance, Lord, to make the right decisions and that we do what brings glory to you. Lord, thank you for all those that work for our county and our state and federal levels, Lord, for their service that they provide. And Lord, just lead them and guide them and protect them, Lord. And Lord, thank you for this great number of turnout here today. Then we just ask that you bless Logan County, Lord, and continue to be with us and protect us, Lord. Lord, thank you for the blessings that you give us each and every day. And Lord, just remind us to always be thankful for your Son and the sacrifice that you made for us, Lord. And Lord, just ask that you be with us. Let's go throughout the rest of this day. Ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. We're going to call this meeting to order by opening with our pledge to the greatest flag on this planet. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Welcome. In the back, we've got the current leadership Logan class. Just want to say hi to those guys and ladies. Glad to have you. Welcome. I hope we can teach you something, or you can learn something about the proceedings of the court today. Let's start out today we have an amendment to the agenda to add the appointment of Raquel Nash and Laura Lee Roby to the Logan County Extension Board, and to move items numbered 5 and 6 to items numbered 2 and 3. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the amended agenda as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Chris. No further discussion. Welcome Olivia back by her giving us the roll call.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcutt.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next item up is the approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Crawford. No further discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcutt.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right. Let's move on. John Holder from the Ambulance Service is going to come speak to us about the pricing for the completed remount of Med 10, a brand new ambulance to Logan County.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good news and bad news situation. Good news is Med 10 is done. It looks great.
Good.
We have it in our possession currently. The bad news is when we got the invoice, if you'll remember, we voted to approve the purchase of that remount for $145,909. The completed invoice is $146,909, which is a difference of $1,000 even. I'm just going to read directly the reasoning for that. The remount company sent us this message stating that Ford had adjusted their GPC discount based on the FIN code for the chassis. They confirmed this with Ford. The actual discount, the decrease in the actual discount that Ford provides. Therefore, it is reflected in the final invoice. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. Ford adjusts the discount themselves, and because of the COVID impacts, they've lowered the discount for everyone across the board. I did check on some of the other chassis we have in the works, and all of them have been adjusted to that. So basically, the discount they give us on the chassis, they've decreased that discount by $1,000. We weren't aware of that until the truck was done. So the situation is, we have the remounted ambulance, it's ready to go, ready to put in service. However, there's $1,000 difference in the end price. So I wanted to bring that before the court and see what you guys would like to do about that.
This is a Pennsylvania company that.
Yes, sir. First time we've used them.
And we have the ambulance in possession,
We do. They're not going to release the title, obviously, until
so they kind of have us.
a little bit. A little bit.
Property tax on it.
Yeah, and
Drive it.
they were very apologetic when I spoke to them on the telephone. They said there's nothing we can do about it. Again, we didn't have that information until the truck was finished, though. So,
I mean,
good looking truck.
I'm sure it is. It looked better on the road.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a choice. And I don't hold them responsible.
No, it
all.
wasn't, definitely wasn't their fault, so.
No. We need the ambulance.
so-
Joe, you see any issue with that? I mean, that's,
I mean, at this point,
Jason's looking at the same
the
thing.
work is done and we've got to pay to get it. It's probably cheaper to go ahead and just reapprove it based upon that.
Right.
Would it still have been the best option we had?
Yeah, it
Yes,
was
sir.
still
It was
considerable.
still under us.
Maybe just vote to approve the amended quote based upon that change.
Correct.
Mr. Crawford, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, I propose that we accept the amended proposal from the ambulance service for $145,909.
It was.
Oh, now it's 100. Excuse me, my vision. Oh, sorry. I needed better vision. 146.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Chris. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
yes,
Baker.
Yes. What else do you have for us, John?
I got a couple more items, if that's okay, while I'm already up here.
Yes, sir.
Since that ambulance is done, I would now request permission to go ahead and have that striped. That's typically where we put our logos on it, and we put ambulance across the front like the state requires, everything like that. We've always in the past sent those ambulances to DMC Graphics out of Owensboro to have that done. So I would just request permission to go forth with that.
That's something that you pay for? Or is
In
it part
no,
of
in
this?
the past, the county usually
Okay.
pays for
Do
that.
you know how much that is?
The last one we had done was Med 12, which we did last year, and it came in at $2,149.
That's done in Owensboro?
Yes, ma'am.
We have to get quotes on that?
I'm sorry.
We need to get quotes on that, or
On 2,000, that's below the,
is that below 5,000?
It wouldn't have to be approved by court unless it's over 5,000.
Right.
But we still have to have a quote.
can you get us a couple of quotes?
I
on
can
that?
certainly do that, yeah. We've had a little trouble in the past getting quotes. There's not a lot of places that do that, but I'll absolutely see what I can come up with.
If you don't mind. And
Yes, sir. I'll bring that next time. Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
He's gonna wait 2 more weeks to get quotes to put it
Yeah, I mean,
in service.
no, just approve it, not to exceed,
Right.
a dollar amount, and
And then-
just let the judge make the best evaluation of which quotes are better and move forward. It'll just be in the bill list next month.
Okay, make that motion. I'm good with it.
Second.
okay, I have a motion and a second for the, what did you refer to me as?
Not to exceed $3,000.
What?
No.
I said the judge, didn't I?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he? All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm up here in La La Land apparently. I thought
He's
you,
a red
I thought you
flag.
said
Where's the red
something else.
flag?
My apologies. That's why I was laughing. I heard something totally different. But anyway, all right, we have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion.
Must not been too bad, he's laughing about it, not
Yeah,
throwing
because I
nothing
found
at
it
you.
humorous, but we'll talk about that later.
21
I promise
was the
you.
last
It's
one.
not 149.
All right, roll call, please.
That was what the last one was.
That's what
Davenport.
Med 12 was,
Not
right?
to exceed 2,500.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Tell her.
What do you have is not to exceed 20?
3,000 is what you just said.
I mean, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay.
3,000? Okay.
Right.
Sound good? Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes,
Baker.
Yes. And you have one more item?
Lastly, yeah.
Since you're up here,
I'm
we'll go
trying
ahead
to
and
get
get it
through
knocked
quick.
out.
Lastly,
You want to spend more money, are you?
No, sir, that's it. No, much appreciated. Magistrate Crawford had requested some information in regard to our response times, staffing, and why our station's where it is, that kind of thing. She requested it for all the districts, and I thought that I would go ahead and share that with everyone since we have it. You'll notice that districts 1 and 6 are put together. I apologize about that, but our geofencing won't let us break those out, and so I had to just combine those. So that's an average response time for 1 and 6 put together. Just wanted to make that information available to the court, in case there were any more questions.
Well, like I've always said, we appreciate you, what y'all do, and
I know you're trying to figure out.
do
So
a fine job, and
I appreciate it. We try hard.
do it without you.
I will tell you this, Mayor Mark Stratton had a medical emergency just a few weeks ago, and he sent me a message personally thanking and asked me to pass it on to John, thanking them for their courtesy, their response time, and their level of professionalism that they while attending to
We
his
appreciate
medical
that very,
emergency.
very much. We
Yeah,
do.
with me also, Suzanne.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
Dayton.
Okay.
She was great.
I appreciate you saying that. I'll pass
She
that along
was-
if that's
she was-
okay.
She was great.
Good
I mean,
deal.
they got me over there, and, I mean, it was pretty rough, but I appreciate her.
Yes, ma'am. I'll pass that on. Thank you for saying so. I spot checked our response times in years past. These are as good or better than they have been. We're the 8th largest county in the state, and we're, I mean, it's a lot of ground to cover, but, I mean, comparatively speaking, objectively, I think we're doing a pretty good job. So we're going to,
Well, I for one, am very appreciative of the work you guys do.
Thank you.
Taking care of our citizens. Thank you, sir.
thank you all very much.
All right, next up on the agenda is our approved bills. And I don't think, there's not a supplement bill list, is there? I don't think so. So just approve the bill list.
We had a lot of bills from the plumbing place. I guess we had a lot of work to do on some bathrooms and stuff at the jail.
From HMC. Yeah, they're staying.
A lot of issues on,
Yes, we switched to a company that everybody else is using Medcraft products on the county side. And it's a combination between hard water issues and just the internal diaphragm keeps them clogging up. It's like they're lasting about 2 days, and then we're having to replace the whole interior of it, all the inner workings. We're trying to work through that. We've had Plumb Master, plumber come down, which of course HMC, Ted Newman's there pretty frequently, and then we're having the engineer that actually designed this with Medcraft trying to work through this, because we're running out of replacement parts, and this is becoming, like I said, every couple day, 2-3 day process of having to repair it. Just trying to keep the showers and the plumbing working on the county side.
Yeah.
It's been a real problem that we're trying to get it worked through.
So it's basically $30,000 to HMC. I mean, how is that gnawing at your budget, and what's your projections? I mean, you're gonna have enough money in your repairs and maintenance there to?
Of course, I didn't foresee all the issues with the plumbing initially, but we've definitely used commissary funds and had to tap into that too to make some repairs as well. But no, the way it's looking right now, no, it's probably not gonna last, unfortunately. But again, that was a lot of unforeseen issues and years of lack of upkeep and PMs, and we're trying to get stuff fixed where we can keep up with jail standards, to get through inspections.
Are you seeing any light at the end of the tunnel? I mean, is this gonna be ongoing, or you think?
Once we figure out the issues on that side, because the ones we put in on the state side, we've had no problems. But it's a different system altogether over there versus on the county side being secured. Well, again, we're trying to work through those issues and trying to fix it to alleviate that. Where it's again, we didn't expect these parts. It's brand new to break down in a few days. Now, if they were a year into it, I could see that, but the inner workings of it, why they're failing is beyond me. But Plum Master is guaranteed that if we can't figure this out with Medcraft as the partner we're using with their engineers, then they will refund us and find us working parts that won't break down on us like that.
Make a motion to approve the bill list as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or any more items we need to discuss? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thanks for talking about that,
Yes.
Josh, appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Treasurer's Report. Miss Amanda, please come and shed some good news on us.
Good morning, Court.
Morning.
Morning.
The first thing that you have on your iPads from me this morning is our financial statement ending October 31st of 2023. The balance in the general fund was $310,870.07. Road fund $1,250,227.01. Jail fund $127,009.86. LGEA $22,557.43. Federal grants fund $54.68. Solid waste recycling $447,497.38. Parks and Rec Fund $1,268,871.48. Occupational tax $6,701,114.00. Life skills $156,247.32. 911 $235,598.45. Health insurance $908,038.49. County clerk storage fees $53,239.07. ARPA fund $4,194,897.14. National opioid settlement fund $154,830.71. Special reserve fund $4,259,394.55. For a total of all funds $20,090,357.64.
Move to acknowledge as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
The second thing you have on your iPads is a couple of budget transfers that we need to make.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And I do have 3 cash transfers today. We need to transfer $75,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the Jail Fund.
So moved.
Second.
No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
We need to transfer $10,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the LGEA Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And we need to transfer $30,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the 911 Fund.
Approved.
Second.
No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
And the last thing that I just wanted to make you aware of is that our auditors are here for fiscal year 22-23. We did our entrance conference with them last Thursday. They'll probably be with us for the next 2 months or so, maybe into January. We're hoping that our audit is definitely done by January 26th. So once we know what's going on, we'll make y'all aware.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, man. Next up is road work request. Kelly is not going to be with us today. He is down on Willow Glen trying to put a tile in for Jason.
It's done.
So let's start with District 1.
District 1, just need to do some road prep on Dennis Road. We've got some time. We're going to do half of it, and then the other half that I need to get some milling done on that road, and Kelly knows about it, but I just wanted to put part of the record. And other than that, continue maintenance.
District 2.
Berea Church Road, there are low limbs in front of the church that need to be cut back so big farm equipment and big semis can go through there. And I don't know if this is right, make sure, Hal Angel Road, I need him to go and see if it is suitable to be put back into the county road. It was taken off when several of those, Karen talked to me about it, and several of the roads were taken off, and Harold Angel was one of them. Okay. And so the guy that has been taking care of the road, and it's really nice kept, and he asked if it could be put back on the county road system, gravel road.
Have you spoke with Kelly about this?
Yes, and I just wanted to write it on here and make him aware of that also.
Perfect. We'll take a look at it, and then we'll proceed with having a hearing for that.
Okay.
District 3.
I put on mine, just like to get an update on some signage requests that I had from some bus drivers at Prentice Lawrence and Lawrence Road intersection. And then I'd shared with them I wanted to get a copy of the bridge inventory if it existed. I know you had mentioned about, evaluating whether or not,
Correct.
And quite honestly, I just want to make sure I know what bridges I have in my district. And I don't think they had it by district, but I can sort it out if it's got road names on it. So just like to get a list of that if that's available.
All right, we'll work on it.
Otherwise, continue maintenance.
All right. District 4.
District 4, Helsley Road sign's missing. I noticed that this morning. And then I've had requests from several people that live on Lewisburg Edwards Road to get some Amish signs posted. I talked to Kelly about it, and he said we do have them, so I just need to get those put up, and I'd like to show Kelly the placement. And then, I'm not going to say the address, but I've got the address wrote down so Kelly will know, but on Ed McReynolds Road, I need to get some ditching done on both sides of this lady's driveway. It just holds water, and it needs to be able to shed it off each direction. So, other than that, they're busy, and they're doing a good job with what they're doing.
They are. District 5.
Yes, we have a bus driver who says he's been backing into 649 Matlock Road to get turned around from that address, and where they paved it has begun to sink, and his bus tips pretty bad. So I would have told Kelly this morning, but I will tell him when I'm on the way out. That was just brought to my attention last night. On Shaker Bend Road, they put great gravel on the side, but it washes really bad. Kelly said they could probably pour a little concrete over it to hold the gravel.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to hopefully get a picture of what time frame they're looking at, because I know they're short. And on New Valley Road, there's an enormous deep ditch that goes down both sides, and then the road itself is very steep, and the farm trucks can't get up and down when they put fresh gravel. So Kelly had to scrape the gravel off.
Right.
Because of the lack of traction.
Right, we've done a lot of work out on New Valley over that road, and it's just a matter of we can't spend all the time out there, so we're doing a little bit at a time and then coming back.
Kelly did say, because of that,
yes, ma'am,
they're going to pave from the top all the way down, all the way up.
Perfect.
He says that way that will end that constant watch.
Absolutely.
He says thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time and money out there, resources, so good. We'll
That's
talk
what he
about
said.
it. All right.
So,
thank you, ma'am.
yes, you're welcome. And I guess keep maintenance going, but they're doing a great job at that.
They are.
Thank
They're
you.
doing a wonderful job. District 6.
Continue maintenance. Thanks for everything.
All right. With that being said, I need a motion to accept the road work request.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Thank you. If no further discussion, or nothing else, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, moving on. Elected officials. Let's start with Sheriff Stephen Stratton.
Just need to get the fee report acknowledged.
Make a motion to acknowledge the sheriff's fee report.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, also have a personnel action request for the mechanic's position. His name's Tyler Given. He's got 7 years of experience. His dad, he grew up in his dad's garage. He did some training through trade school in automotive, and he's worked at several places where he did mechanical stuff. So says he has really good experience in tearing an engine down and fixing it and everything we need. He's energetic, takes a lot of pride in what he does. So I think he'll fit in really well with everybody, and we can start getting back to that business of having our own mechanic.
Great.
So we're pretty excited.
I noticed some of the maintenance on the
Yes.
bill report was you
Yeah.
guys' maintenance, so.
Yeah,
help with
that's
that, right?
it comes in spurts like that. I mean, honestly, we're spending $100 in oil change. We come across some new information. You know, our vehicles idle more than average, especially our canine units, and that's a lot of miles. I didn't realize how many miles. I think it's like 33 miles for every hour a vehicle idles or something. Yeah. So we're having to look at them getting their oil change. We get oil changes scheduled regularly, but them guys really probably ought to be doing it more.
From all the
So
idling.
now that we've got a mechanic, we're going to implement a software system that's going to scan, and every time a vehicle comes in, it's going to track the history a lot better. So
We're hoping to use this system. Sheriff and I have been talking about hoping to use this
Yeah.
system to roll the all county
to do all
vehicles into
county,
it.
all county vehicles. So
Just as a reminder, the garage is at the,
it is right now. It is at behind the ODTF building, but we're working on
Behind Hayes trailer.
behind Hayes
okay,
Trailer.
the drug task force.
Yeah, it's behind the drug task force right now.
Is that over there off that bypass?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. I didn't know you guys had a space back there.
We do, we do.
Live and learn.
We try to keep it
This
quiet.
job a year now, and I'm just now realizing that.
Make a motion to approve the personnel action requests for Tyler Given, being base schedule LC-SM-1, credited 7 years experience, effective hire date November 27th, 2023.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second.
Somebody else want to see this, Brad?
Jason?
If there's no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Next up is Clerk Stacy Watkins. Doing great.
So I also need to have my fee report acknowledged, please.
Make a motion to acknowledge the clerk's fee report.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Also wanted to just run this by y'all because we really just now decided, we've been a little busy with elections and all, I don't know if y'all noticed, but we have decided since Thanksgiving is gonna fall, that holiday is gonna fall on the last weekend of the month, Felicia and I are actually gonna work this Saturday from 9:30 to 12. And if you I just wanted it announced so people listening will know. If you need the vehicle department this Saturday, we will be open, but we will not be open the last Saturday of the month.
It's vehicle only, correct?
Yes, sir, vehicle only.
Can you give us an update on how the election?
I would love to. So
Result?
about 34.1% is what we had show up to turn out to vote out of our almost 19,000 voters. I think it was a total, y'all, I may be a little dyslexic and I haven't looked at those numbers since last week, but I believe it was 6,580 people showed up to vote. It may have been 6,850, but about 34% is about what showed up. And I was pleased with that. I will say it was not as much as what we saw the last state election, which would have been in 2019. It was about 43%, but it was more than I expected. I was very concerned after the primary that we were not going to have a good turnout, but it was better than I thought it would be. So that was good.
They worked really hard on that. And very
Yeah, we did.
appreciative of the work you guys did.
Yes,
I got
thank
two
you.
questions.
Sure.
One about the election. So I thought we bought printers for the election ballots.
No, the printers were included in the iPads. That tells what ballot they get. We have not purchased any print-on-demand printers.
Okay. So what was the printers that we got the?
They're, our iPads, when we were doing the no ink, it comes with a printer. It's below the iPad. It's just for the check-in process.
They give it to you and you go over to the.
Yeah, a little
table
chip. And you took it to the ballot table.
Yeah.
So when, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was actually printing the ballot.
We have not done that yet.
Okay.
We have one, and I have been studying and researching what other counties are doing. I think I've seen like 4 or 5 others are getting on board, and they're just now starting to tell, you know, how that worked out for them. This one, I don't want to be one of the first ones to go all to printing ballots. So I want to see how that works. I know that one county had, they had some issues with one, it went down, and so that whole polling location really suffered. And that's what my fear. Technology and electronics are not always, I'm just a little bit afraid of
You just
going.
want to wait till it's a proven thing.
I do. I want to see what problems other counties have with it before I ask y'all to spend
That's a
all
good
that money
idea.
to convert to print on demand. I have budgeted for it. You may have heard me talk about it during budget talks in May. I did talk to y'all about it.
I know we talked about it.
We have discussed it. I mean, but we're looking at probably close to 4,000 per, it could be more than that, but, the last time I talked to him, it could be several $1,000s per machine. So, this is not gonna be a cheap thing if I ask y'all to do it. I wanna make sure that it's gonna be something that's not gonna cause me to go even more white-headed than I already have from elections, so, but yes.
But I guess the purpose of that is really just to.
Cut
so
back.
So that you just don't print a bunch that you
Right.
don't use.
It is very difficult to predict what you're going to need, because you can't just allow for the number of voters you have, because that voter may show up in Adairville, that voter may show up in at Logan County High School, it may show up at the extension office, it may show up in, you don't know. So you kind of are forced to order too many, but then again, you're not sitting at a ballot location with no ballots, and that has happened, and that is a disaster. So it's a little bit scary to think about going to print on demand. I have heard a lot of good come out of it, but I have heard when it goes down, you better have a backup plan. If I'm gonna have to order ballots anyway, I'm just waiting to see. And I'd also like to see them maybe work out some of the kinks before we go do it. Like, let's let some other people be the guinea pig.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Agreed.
And maybe they can figure out those problems and get those bugs worked out before we make that switch. But it is something that's on my mind. It's definitely on my mind, and I am doing some research on it.
No, not at all.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so you led me to it, and I think matter of fact, somebody else I was talking to a few days ago that was just bragging on how Kentucky, just does such a great job. They voted in Logan County and just was bragging on the systems. Like, I just cannot picture how anybody could commit fraud, and
Correct.
And I agree with that. 100%. I think we have all the right things in place, but one thing that you had just mentioned when we print these ballots, what it would be the auditing process if you, and I'm making up generic numbers,
Sure.
if you printed and ordered 40,000 ballots, okay, you ordered 40,000 ballots, you had, I'm gonna use round numbers so we can do simple math, and you had 5,000 people show up to vote. do y'all check that y'all have 35,000 ballots left?
Every single ballot
Okay.
is accounted for.
Yeah.
Every single ballot. We do not leave those polling locations. So we are reconciling against the iPad check-ins plus the spolts. That number has to match an accountability sheet that your ballot judges are keeping up with. And so every one of them are numbered. Every ballot's numbered. Every book is numbered. Every ballot is accounted for. And then those numbers have to reconcile against the machine. Of course, our machines that are scanning those ballots, that's not connected to any internet or anything like that. However, those iPads are connecting all over the county and are talking to each other and saying, hey, this person has voted, don't let them vote anywhere else.
Right.
So yes, all those numbers have to check against each other, and if they don't, you aren't getting numbers up here until they do.
Right.
So everybody that comes up here
That's
to
good.
get our election results, those numbers are not coming out until everybody matches.
Right.
So,
So off elections.
Sure.
So, I've gotten two different answers. When do the magistrates officially take over their new magisterial district?
now.
So it's done.
Yes. Mhm.
So.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
momentous.
I appreciate that.
Speaking of, has Brad gave us any of our maps or any of our road miles?
I haven't gotten
I haven't
anything yet,
received
but I
anything
am
yet.
still working with them. The county board of election, your local county board of election, did vote to reapportion precincts as well. So we're in the process of that. So it may be something that they're gonna give us when we get it all finished. I don't know.
Okay,
So
thank you.
okay, you're welcome. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, at
Sure.
some point, I would like to have a readout of where my new roads begin and end.
Yes, that's what he's talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Yeah,
That's what you,
absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yes, they'll get us.
I somehow missed
Or
yes.
it's okay.
Which
It's all
we'll
good.
start getting probably, I'd say probably this week. We're going to start getting the information. We have to go in and manually move all those voters that are being moved. So
Okay.
if they were in E101 and now they're going to be in E102, we've got to go in and manually put all that in.
Okay, because I've had several call me, are you still my magistrate? And I said,
I think.
I said, but
I might
and I
be.
said, I'll go ahead and help you. Like
course.
the bus driver on Matlock, I think is now you. But I told her, look, I'm going to work on this for you until I know for sure that you're not in my district. So there's no point in me saying no. I think
I'll call
they're-
Kim
that's good
today, and I've got your email, so I'll get you something over if I can
ones.
go in
Well,
and just get that for
I'm
you.
not being picky.
No,
Because
that's
I
not
don't
being
mind
picky.
I mean, especially, I'll reach right across and help Jamie or anybody else if that's
Do you want me to reach out to her today?
If you don't
I
mind,
will.
that'd
I'll
be
take care of
great.
it. All right.
Thanks,
I
Stacy.
want to ask one. I'm
Sure,
sorry.
ask me.
And I may this just be an education thing, but like, District 3,
Sure.
for instance, has 4 precincts.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we do voting the way we do, what is the reason for having 4 precincts?
So that is so because of the way we vote now, that was what's the county board, and I think it's a great idea because it is so confusing having all of these different precincts inside these magisterial districts. So what they voted to do is narrow that down. So if the state approves it, what we'll have, I would love to just see us have 6 precincts. So your precinct is going to be your magisterial district. But you've got a congressional that's weird. So you would
split
actually,
right
yes.
in
So
there.
what we're asking the state is to just knock that down. Our magisterials will be our districts and that's it, and all
And
that
not be
confusion.
related to the other.
Yes. And then if we ever go back to precinct voting, which we may not, sometimes I hope we do because it would cut down on a lot of cost. But if we go back to precinct voting, each one of you would have your own voting location in your district, somewhere in your district. So.
Well, I guess with that said, does that conflict things with when we have when we're serving the areas of the cities and plus with school board zones? Is that?
We have nothing to do with the city
But does that
lines
make?
or the school.
But does that make it hard, I guess, reducing the precincts? Or I don't know, I mean.
And we hope they'll follow suit and kind of follow our lines, but they don't have to. That's up to them. They have their own meetings with Brad. That's decided in their own board
I guess
meetings.
what I'm
so.
saying is like, my precinct that's inside the city limits of Russellville, I guess, does it still sort
It
of
would
have
be,
to stay?
it would be included, no,
Okay.
because Tyler's got county and city inside his magisterial district, and it would just be the same thing. Yeah, you can include cities inside. Now, what you can't do is cross a congressional line. So I don't think that there's any, because Kim had proposed this to me when we first started talking about reapportionment. She was like, this would simplify your election process so much. So I presented it to the county board, and they were very much in favor of that. So like where we had 42 ballot faces this time, so there were 42 splits, so there was 42 options of ballots. That would cut that down tremendously for us.
Just have 6.
And I guess that's what I
Well,
was getting at.
it'll be
is that-
7, because you're gonna have 2, because
Well-
you're a little congressional. Yeah, that little tiny, it would have to be its own precinct.
Okay.
That's the only KRS that we have found, that you can't cross, you cannot cross a congressional district line.
But I guess what I was getting at is, that, even though you would like to have 6 ballots, it's still gonna be more than 6.
Right, no,
because
it
you
would
got-
never be 6.
Because we have the cities.
You're
and
gonna
we
have
the
your
school
north and
zones
south, you'd have your north and south soil and water, you're gonna have your school boards, you're gonna have your cities, you're gonna have, oh yeah, no, it would never just be 6.
I haven't asked this, and this is an obvious question I should have asked. Why was that congressional district split right down the middle there?
My opinion,
Yeah.
gerrymandering, that's my
I was
opinion.
gonna say, was that
That's my
political?
opinion.
It was political then.
It was political, yeah, 100%. Someone
What
in your
was it?
congressional, someone in that district had a whole lot of money, and somebody fought tooth and nail to make sure that they got to keep it in their congressional
No,
district.
I
That's
just
my
wondered
opinion.
Why in the world we have 2?
That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
But I don't know, I
I
can't
thought
prove
if there was
that.
some sort of absolute mandate that explained it, but it doesn't.
Gives you two voices instead of one.
Well, I can claim I know nothing. I do not know why that happened, because I don't. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions for me, anybody?
For you.
All right, bring it on.
Okay, so Ben's, we're now under the new map.
Correct.
That we, kind of know what it is. We obviously have new road count.
Yes.
So, and I don't care, because it's gonna be just a few dollars. Are you, as the judge executive, reapportioning the dollars or readjusting the dollars? And what happens if, like, Tyler's already spent all his money? But he actually owes me part of it because he took part of my district, So I'm just asking for clarification so all this board knows. Are we dealing with the number we passed at budget?
Right.
And that is your number until July 1?
I think that's gonna be
Or
the,
we reapportion that dollar?
I think that's gonna be the cleanest way to keep it, because if
Doesn't
I go
matter to
back
me,
there
I
and
just-
start pulling money here and there, I know it's
I sure
fair
would
one
have
way,
some
but
money in
unfair the other.
Road dollars,
You would.
Jamie's
But
gonna
until,
Jamie's the one that's gonna-
yeah, and Jamie's probably gonna be the one that's gonna get touched
Jamie's
more
gonna
than
hurt,
anyone.
yeah.
And what I'm gonna have to do is actually get the number and compare the numbers and see what kind, because I mean, honestly, even though there is, you're losing some or gaining some, it may not be financially that much of a
And it's
difference.
not
It's
going
just,
to be, but we do need to know
Yes.
as we manage.
and we can discuss this, and I might discuss this with some of you elders on this, but.
It really only affects Ann. Ann's the only one that's actually losing money.
Oh,
Correct.
definitely, I'm
Crawford
gonna
is
lose.
losing
I am
money.
gonna
Correct.
So if she was smart, she'd go spend all of her money before the judge reapportioned that.
Somebody already suggested I do that. I said
I just think,
I
I think if we went through and tried to reapportion it, that we would end up with a lot of.
That's fair to me. I have no problem with that. But
I
you know,
just-
We're in the midst of fall paving right now. We've got
Correct.
one more paving before, the end of fiscal year, so I mean, it just wouldn't really.
The only person I'm worried about spending all our money is Jason, so we're okay.
You spending mine.
No, I apologize. No, and realistically, I think the fairest way would be just wait till,
your dollars wouldn't change.
No.
So,
The
just,
complication that I see with that is on your flex money, unless you're gonna apply the same numbers and you're not gonna change that until January or July 1 either.
I think we leave it all. If,
Don't touch it.
Tyler's getting 8.6 and you're getting 32 point
Yeah,
whatever.
don't touch
I'm fine. We just need to know so we're all on the same
Hannah
page.
needs to know, too.
Yeah, Hannah needs
She's
to
the
know,
one
and-
that's actually doing that, so she needs to know so she
I-
can
I'll
plug.
I'll tell you what, I'll have you an answer by, as soon as I get the road miles and I'm able to sit down and look at it, I'll give you a firm answer.
Because of that, because that's what might happen. With that many people going to you.
We don't, unless we're changing
So
something.
we'll just.
It is not
we'll
just-
Look at it.
No,
I
I
haven't
think
touched
so.
it.
It's mileage.
Automatically because of your mileage of road.
Right.
Your mileage of roads now change.
That's correct.
So
I
that's
say-
that's an automatic number.
like, I say let the judge just look at it because, like, for me, I get roughly $2,000 a mile. That's what it equivalents out to. So if Jamie's gaining 20 miles of road, I mean, that's a big number.
She's gaining more than 20 miles, ain't she?
I mean, so, okay. So if she gains 50
A lot.
miles, that's a huge number. I say let the judge look at it and come back to us.
At this point, I say we're gonna leave it the way it is
Yeah, I
until,
would
till
say so.
July, but with that also being said, as you said, District 2 is gaining a ton of miles, so it may be something I may have to back up and retract my words on that, but at this point,
That starts you a GoFundMe.
I'm going to leave it the way it is. But that all requires us getting the road miles from Brad first.
That's where all the money is.
I think you just, like you said, I think
Yeah,
you
that's
just leave it
exactly
the way it
what-
is. And then if there's like some sort of special occurrence to where somebody's got to do something to one of our new roads, I mean, you know, I think we just wait.
I agree.
I don't get too many calls on the section.
I don't have a dog in that fight. Do y'all done with me? And I go, okay, all
All
right.
right. And that was a good point that you brought up. Exactly, exactly.
Like Jason said, he's using a different formula, he's using 2,000 miles, and that's the way.
Right, that's the way his formula worked out,
You
right.
know, if Jamie just gained 50 miles of road, she thinks, well, I got $100,000 more of this allotment that is mine, I'm spending it, you know, but
Right.
we just need to know which number we're working off of.
Jason, so, yeah,
They're back to you.
like Ann's gonna have a lot of carryover money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she may come in here in the spring with her 50 new miles of road that she's going to be looking at, and she's like, man, I need to get this done, but I ain't got the money.
So can we do it, so when we do the carryover number, maybe we need to look at adjusting that, you know, if you have a.
That's where it needs to be pulled from.
Possibly.
What carryover number?
Like whatever she currently
Say,
has.
you know, if she currently has X amount of dollars, she don't spend it, it's gonna carry over to the next budget year. So instead of carrying that money over for those miles, it needs to go to the new person.
What next budget year? I mean, you're talking about 24, 25 next budget.
No,
year.
he's
she's
talking about
talking
when we
about
get our
July.
new money in July.
Right.
And if she has $200,000 carry
That's
over.
next year, we vote on, we would use, sure, the new money. Why would you reapportion the carryover money? I mean,
Well, okay, look.
but you can't
it's
say
mainly
it's
gonna
carryover
affect-
money from roads that she lost. It's just carryover money. She could say, no, this is carryover money because I didn't pay all of this over here.
Right.
This is mainly a 5-2 thing.
Pretty
District
much.
5, there's a little bit here and there, but
Little on
mainly,
me, but
a
Yeah.
little bit, but
y'all
mainly.
three stayed pretty well geographically.
But
Right.
I think at the point that it becomes apparent that there's going to be something like that, I would make a motion that my carryover be allotted percentage-wise to whatever hers increased by. I would never do anything.
That's
would be
as
questionable.
fair, that's as fair as I think you can make
And I
it right
think rather
there.
than us
I
debate
appreciate
it when
that.
there's, some of these
Yeah.
districts haven't changed
Your
at all.
road list. You
Right.
have-
So let's just say, I will make sure
Okay.
that when that time comes,
We'll come the carryover time, we'll reevaluate it,
Yes.
and you and I'll
And
sit
I'll
down
make
and
sure
have
she
that
gets
discussion,
that.
and we'll go from there. All
there's
right?
just
For
really,
now, we're just gonna stay the same and not adjust the
Exactly.
budget.
well,
I think that's
Be
the
good to go, right?
the best way to go.
Yeah.
I would not cheat.
You know, and it doesn't
Everybody's
matter,
always-
and
Scotty
it's,
Harper said it.
Ann's right, that's how we should govern. I appreciate your spirit, because it's 100%
Absolutely.
how we should govern. And, we represent the entire county, but
Yes.
I don't even think personally, because I've got tons of carryover money. I haven't paid in, you know, I have to save money for a long, long time before I pay. And I build that up on purpose. So if I was affected the opposite way, I would be in huge objection, because I have to manage carryover money, carryover money, carryover money, carryover money. Boom, I can finally pay 3 miles of road. You know, otherwise I'm paid in 2/10 every
Right.
year. That's
Right.
all I can get done. So I don't think you should really even adjust the carryover money. The carryover money is what that district managed. When we start July 1, you know, you and Jamie and I, we're the three that are affected. If I've got a road that I inherited from you, but yet you manage the money for it, I may come to you and say, Ms. Crawford, man, I need $5,000 because it's on this road. We'll work that out. But come July 1, the new percentages are the new percentages.
Absolutely.
Period.
Well,
You know?
and that sounds like a reasonable thing, because that is exactly what I would do.
Okay, perfect. Me too.
All right.
Don't ask me for money.
What if I
You mean if I bordered your road, you wouldn't give me part of it? And I know we do border roads.
All right. Well, thank you
I
for
just want
the,
to say it, because I got 300,000 to carry over money.
Right.
And I do that on purpose.
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
spend a big chunk of that.
You make me laugh.
You know, you know.
all right, let's move on. Jailer, Joshua Toomey. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Court.
Good morning.
As of this morning, our total count was 171. It's 103 on the county side and 68 on the state side. I have a couple things here. One, I've revised a policy or new policy manual. I'd sent you an addition, the original draft, and then updated a couple things, made some revisions. I've sent that to Mr. Ross, and I've emailed everybody. But I know I presented this back beginning of October. I was wanting the court's consideration if they were ready to move forward to approve new policy manual.
Have we ever had a copy that just showed what the changes were?
Well, it was hard to.
I mean, 'cause every time we make a change to the jail policy, I can't read however many pages.
There were so many things that
Yeah.
that were added to or that were updated. It's hard to point out just a few items, if that makes sense.
Well, in the past, we've always, we kind of got, if we're taking something out that was crossed out, if it was adding something, it'd be
In parentheses.
or red or something, or highlighted.
It's a new layout to the policy manual, trying to get going along with CAECO's model policies and other departments, and working with the jail inspector to write this. He was very pleased with the layout and the wording. But again, I can go through and try to show the differences if it's just quite a bit. But I'd be happy to come up with a summary for the court in the future.
I might have missed it, but does that get turned into the DOC? Or is that just county level?
Our jail inspector will go over it and look over it, and he looked at the new copy when he done our second inspection. It hadn't been approved yet, but he was very pleased with it on the updates and changes with the how everything evolves, policies evolve, techniques, tactics, and things. And again, we're working with CAECO's model policies as well as other departments and him, and our jail inspector. But yes, he goes over it and approves that. So.
Can we put that on the agenda to approve at the next one? I apologize.
No.
I haven't read it yet. I've got it on my desk to read.
Well,
but
it's a
I
lot
haven't read it.
to read.
Yeah.
It's
Josh is
105
put in for
pages,
publisher.
so.
It's 105 pages, so get ready.
I know.
Yes.
I've got it laying there. It's
Yes,
crossed my mind.
and I understand. It's just to try to, I will come up with a better summary of changes. It's just a lot
Well,
to.
I will ask this, if you could email us and just say, here's a few substantial things that I did.
Yes, I can do that.
Just to point us at it.
I can
that
do
might
that,
be
not a problem.
Helpful,
Rather than read the whole thing that had changed, is that what you
Of
mean?
course, I've never seen the first copy, so, but I thought if there's things that are important to him, I'll particularly pay attention to those sections.
Yes, I could do that. And another topic, unfortunately, with our medical contract, they go through another contract company for mobile ultrasound, mobile x-ray service that comes into the facility. It's hard to put a number on that because it's whenever an inmate needs those services conducted. I'm going to work on an average per year. However, the current service or contract company that Triple C Medical uses was Trident Care. However, they notified us with very short notice, the end of October, that give us like a week. And every jail that I've talked to that uses Triple C Medical, that utilizes Trident Care, has moved away from them because they've more than tripled their prices. They found us an alternative, but just for the x-rays, they practically doubled those prices and then added on another $100 travel expense for the x-ray service as well as the ultrasound service. So everybody that they've talked to has moved away from Trident Care and has moved to Express Mobile. It's a slight increase from what Trident Care's old cost was. However, it's nothing as substantial as that. I've emailed this to you all, and I've submitted to Joe Ross to approve. They're working. Our medical company is working with them only to pay this company right now as we're using them until the court approves a new contract. But of course, I won't know what, I can figure up an average on what we're using, but it's hard to say on when an inmate needs an ultrasound or an x-ray. And again, they come to us and do those tests at our facility. But unfortunately, those costs have gone up, and it was very unexpected. They give us very short notice. This all come about the end of October, and said those changes were going to affect November 1st. And so they found this other company, Express Mobile Diagnostic, to use. But again, I leave that to the court to approve this contract for their services.
So on that, I'll be honest, I didn't realize we had somebody mobile and coming. How does that compare to like going out here to the hospital and having an x-ray?
We do that in an emergency if there's some type of altercation or an injury, something that we need to have checked right then and there. If it's something that is not as serious, which of course any injury is serious, but if it's something they can schedule, they try to get that done in a couple days versus unfortunately they get hurt out on the rec yard or something like that.
Prioritizing the urgency. I'm just asking, regardless, how does that compare? How does Express Care price, the one you're suggesting, compare to two things? One, what our current place, which the only one I know of would be the hospital charges, and two, how does that compare to what Medicare and Medicaid allows for those charges?
I don't have those figures, but I can get that for you because again, what the average person would be billed, and then our bills are sent back in for rebilling, and we get that cost for the inmates. But as far as the breakdown on the difference, I don't have that today, but I can get that figure for you.
For me, I mean, you have to also put into account the resources used to get someone to the hospital and have to stay with them at the hospital, and the staff, getting have a.
Yeah, but you have no number to compare that to. So
no, but
what if it's 100,000 versus 1,000?
But if
you can allocate a lot of resources for $99,000.
Right, but I mean,
we have no idea what it.
But if you have one jail employee out at the babysitting at the hospital, a lot of the time we have to put that into account. Because then it's going to be like, we haven't got enough staff.
I can, but I don't have all the information to account for none of that. I can't just say yes because you got to send a deputy out there with them.
You said they're charging you.
I don't know what they're charging.
The Trident Care was going to charge us $100 travel for transportation costs every visit, regardless if it was one,
and where do they
on top
come
of
from?
It's a different employee. I'm not sure where they would respond from, what part of the state. It's whoever gets assigned, whatever radiologist or x-ray tech gets that call throughout the state.
Would that be the same for Express? I think you said the new one was Express.
Yes, and again, this is up to the court's approval. However, this has come about fairly quickly, and it wasn't a whole lot of time to prepare. I just wanted to bring it to the court's attention and have you look over, and I'll get those figures to compare the cost of this service versus utilizing the hospital.
One last question. You said that they had tripled. I think you said their transportation cost.
They added on $100 transportation cost, and then for each service, whether it be x-ray or ultrasound, they had pretty well doubled, so you add on the other
Are
100,
those
so it's
costs
basically.
in that?
Yes, and I've emailed them to you.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see that.
I saw
I got some
the-
kind of buddy GPS thing.
I sent that too, but I sent the,
We didn't get that.
did you not get the other? Let me double check my email.
I
but
didn't
I'll
I
make
didn't get
sure.
anything on the medical. I got
Is it
the
on
other.
there?
This
Policy.
is the difference between Express and Trident. That was the old.
I just want to see what kind of money.
Okay, let me fix that. I thought I sent that last.
So an X-ray 77 with Trident, X-ray $77, ultrasound's $165. The new price is going to $85. So it's going from 77 to 85 plus $100 travel. Ultrasound's going from 165 to 220 plus $100 travel.
No, that's the Trident, but that's what we're going away from.
Right.
Express is not going to charge us that transportation cost. The service fee is about a third of
I think what
the
Thomas
other
is-
had went to.
I'm so sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I think what Thomas's question has really been, to what I'm hearing, is would it not be cost efficient just to use the hospital?
And I will have to get those figures. I just typically, I'd like to say yes, but I don't.
I think they'd just like to kind of look at
Because
those numbers.
they're not up front, not until they look at rebilling and things and getting that Medicaid, Medicare rate. Because up front, it's not gonna be cheaper. With the ER visit,
And
the
that's what
X-ray
Thomas
visit,
said. Because you'd have to
paying,
have somebody stay.
paying a doctor, paying an X-ray tech, they've got to send that off to be looked at.
We're not gonna make any decisions today, so I mean.
Yes,
the
yes,
emails-
absolutely. I thought I did, and I'm sorry. I will make sure you have it.
You also gotta think about the safety of people, you know, if.
Taking them out of the jail.
Yeah, taking them out, or the safety of the nurses and the possibility.
Some of that, some of the numbers Thomas put out.
Very reasonable price. I didn't see anything that was crazy.
Yeah.
Out of whack.
And again, I just, consideration, and I'll get those differences, and I'll be able to present those at the next court meeting for the medical. Something else I sent, it was just to consider, this is the company that I've been in touch with. They actually sent me a sample product of this Buddy GPS tracking system specifically for work release. It's tamper alerts, waterproof, real-time GPS location on apps. We can have that up in our control room. I can monitor it. Other supervisors can monitor that. Again, it's just a possibility. Nothing has to be moved forward. They just wanted to make sure if that was something, they send a potential draft of that on their agreement and service. Again, it's just something for the court to consider. That is something I'd like to do in the future for all our outside work details, but again, it can be further down the road. That's nothing pressing now. They just sent me a sample that they're gonna do some online training with, that we can utilize that just to test out, more or less a demo.
So, I mean, I would almost say, you know, the money that we're saving these cities, Russellville and Auburn
And that was something to help,
You and I
have them
talked
help
about
absorb
that
that cost.
before.
It's $4 a day per unit is what it is.
So I think any inmate that you are allowing the cities to use to save them money from labor costs, you know, they could cover that cost for
Yes.
us instead of us. We're already burdened on everything else, you know.
Yes, sir.
The budget of the jail and everything else, and then we're, you know, providing them inmates to help them save labor costs. I don't think it's out of, you know, I think it's okay for us to ask them to pay for that service because at the end of the day, I mean, that's just like what we had happen, you know, recently. I mean,
Yes, sir.
it can happen.
Yes,
Regardless.
unfortunately, and that's kind of a risk, and that's how the Department of Corrections views that as well. It's a,
It can happen. I mean, you can have an inmate that's just greatest thing ever. And, you know, not have that bad of a criminal record they're in for something that's not very bad, and then they're gone, you know? So I mean, I think we need to seriously consider
Yeah,
doing
definitely.
that.
So did I read it right where there's no upfront cost, it's just a lease?
It's yes, and the big thing that they wanted to make known is that their only concern is that there's limitations. You get GPS monitoring, but it's not a prevention. They just want, as far as not hold them liable. If somebody was to walk off a work site, that's not going to prevent them from committing a crime or harming somebody. That was their main concern. And the only, as far as the cost, is they want you to a minimum of five units per month that you utilize, which we have 20 on average. We've got 20 workers that go out on any given day, so that's not a problem. They just asked if we could use five devices per month at minimum. And
do we know that there's a very accurate
and
technology involved on those, that if
and
they
when
take
I go
them off
through,
or cut them off?
Yes, that you automatically get a tamper alert notification. And again, I've got like an hour online training scheduled with them as soon as they get me a date. But that's what he said. It's very intuitive on how to put the device on, take it off, and again, it's one company. We'll try it. If that's a possibility, we can look at others. But
Two things. One, on the cutting it off, that is actually a separate felony offense, so there is a deterring effect there, especially with people who are already on felony charges. Just briefly looking at the contract, it is one of those that puts all the jurisdiction and laws in Florida, so maybe see if you can get that changed.
Yes.
Also, maybe if you can't, look and see if there's anybody that is a Kentucky-based company that
Yes,
does
sir.
this. So.
Yes, sir. And this was just one
Yeah.
that I've talked to on a few occasions, and they're the ones that seem to be the most eager to help you.
I forwarded you one time. I don't remember. Was that?
I was thinking that was it.
Was that Buddy? Was that? the
Yes,
same
sir.
one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We can put these on our road signs.
Yeah,
I think it's a no-brainer, really.
And then
it is.
I personally think the concept is fine. It's not for me. Somebody who's going to walk off detail, the only positive I could see that being is you would know sooner.
Yes.
The last situation that happened where somebody walked off, I think there's some time had elapsed before.
quite a bit. Yes, sir.
Supervision
Unfortunately.
knew, and I think we've learned from that experience.
Yes,
But
sir.
at the end of the day, that ain't keeping nobody from making a bad decision.
Oh, no,
You
no,
know, that guy, the way I understood it, was just maybe not too far away, having time served, and was
Yes.
gonna be a free man, and
Yes.
now it's an automatic whatever, minute, much more time.
Yes, sir.
So I just don't know what it does. Now, somebody else is footing the bill, so be it, more power to them, but I'm not in favor of the county unless there's more information that you could determine, or convince me to say, well, this is public safety, and it's gonna deter somebody.
I look at it, nothing's 100%, but I look at it as a deterrent, because if they do go outside of a said boundaries, they mess with it, tamper with it, there's another potential charge, but again, it's more of a deterrent than anything, to try to prevent that.
The cost isn't great.
No.
I mean,
no,
for me, it's a no. I think.
It's just a possibility. I'm sure there's several out there. It's just a possibility.
Just because, here's the thing, if somebody were to, like for instance, yes, we learned from that, but it could happen again.
Yes.
So if someone were to walk off site, go to the business next door and shoot someone and kill them, who is liable? Is the county not liable for that happening? Would that family not be able to, sue us, or? I mean, we have to look at
Liability.
I mean, if we give someone 3 hours to walk around versus 30 minutes, we could keep them from possibly injuring someone. Or, for me, it's an insurance. It's just an insurance policy that Yeah, could they get by with it not working? It's possible, but it's definitely something that's not very expensive, and it could be a tool to where I think it would be beneficial.
Yes.
Another way I look at it is just that one incident, we have the manpower that was involved in tracking that person for the hours that was tracked would pay, just that one day would pay for this program for probably months and months and months. But now if you're saying we can pass it off to the other cities, I mean, of course it's a no-brainer.
That guy would have cut that off.
But you'd have known immediately.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, he's still gone. I mean,
Well,
still tracking him. I mean,
Yeah, but
he obviously didn't get
he's
as far,
5 minutes ahead.
you know, as far as what he did. But I get it. I see both sides of it. Public safety is the fundamental principles of government. You know, I think it's like one of the top three. Everybody's got a different position for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking how many times it's happened in my tenure. I can think of one for sure, and I think it's been two since I've done it in 17 years. So I do have to weigh the economic cost of what I'm getting, okay?
Yes, sir.
If this happened once a year, it's a little more digestible. But when it's happened twice in 17 years, how much am I spending to prevent that from happening? And two, we're talking about inmates that have already been vetted. They're state inmates. You know, they've already gone through a reasonable system that says this person is a reasonable liability. We feel comfortable letting him go out on work, he or she go out on work detail. How much more do we want to do? If we're going to keep on stressing about it, don't let them out. Just keep them all detained. And I don't think anybody wants to do that. But you're going to get to a point, you're going to keep on stressing about it, and we'll never let nobody out. You know, we take on a certain amount of liability when we get up out of bed every morning. And same here, you know, we've got to say what is a reasonable amount of liability we want to. I think, personally, to Tyler's point, I think we take on more liability than putting this on. You let the batteries run dead. You did this. Somebody wasn't monitoring correctly. I could think of 100 things that if that one scenario, something went wrong and somebody went and did something stupid and hurt somebody and we get sued, we just allowed more liability. Hey, well, why didn't somebody notice that sooner? Hey, how come, you know, all kinds of different things. You know, why did it take you 10 minutes or 30 minutes to respond to when that guy cut it off? It sent you a notification at 9 o'clock. Nobody replied to that until 9:40. What's the problem? You know, I mean, and again, that means a hill of beans to me. At the end of the day, is a person reasonably been evaluated and can they go out? And I think it's the right thing to do to let them go out. You're teaching them a work ethic, you give them value, you introduce them to your community, you know, and we're all trying to help, and, you know, you're gonna, I don't know what we gain by it, but if somebody else is paying for it, y'all go right ahead. I won't vote to pay anything, taxpayer money for it.
You know, just
County
get us some more,
taxpayers money
just
for it.
get us a plan together on using them and stuff,
Yes, sir.
and we'll let the court decide.
Yes, sir. All right, my last from the business, I've got a couple of personnel action requests on individual with 9 years of experience. It's coming from us from another facility. Ms. Powell, attached is her Creamcast training when she started in corrections, and she's got a lot of training under her belt.
How does this set you for having the people you need?
We've got a couple more openings, and I'm hoping we've done some interviews of late, and I'm hoping we can get full staff for the first time here in the very near future is the goal, and try to fill the supervisor positions. We had and for this person, she's been a supervisor for years. We've recently had a posting, And we only had a couple people interested in the supervision track. We promoted one. Nobody else is interested in that next step just yet. We're going to have another one, trying to get people, I guess, to step up and want to move to that next level. But of course, people got to feel more comfortable in what they're doing now before they're ready to supervise and lead others. So
Where's
we're
she
trying to
coming
Todd County.
Oh, just across. Well, if you had a full quota of your needs, then people could have more regular hours.
Yes.
They wouldn't have that overlap that I'm
Yes.
sure you're facing.
And unfortunately, we've had with sickness and others, other things, as well as like Mr. Davenport brought up earlier, hospital details. We've had several unfortunate where I guess gallbladder issues or appendix. We've had a few that's had some stays of late, and that's been several day, if not week to 2 week long, especially with something with the heart. Where inmates have gone to the hospital and you've had to have somebody there with them 24/7 and cover those details, and that's an expense that you're not ready for, that you don't plan on. You never know when it's going to happen, but of course that hurts your budget. So,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah, wait,
He's money crunching.
oh, he's good with the numbers.
trying to, we've got a running list.
Yes.
Okay, I'll look at that one. 9 years experience.
Yes, sir. And her Crimcast is attached to it with her years of service, and she's got over 300 training hours in Crimcast. So.
That's real good.
Anybody else want to see it before I do it, or want to see it after?
I'll look at it. Thank you. Here, you can Did you want to see the rest of this? That's just mainly what I want to see. Here's Jason.
All right, Tyler, you want me to make them up?
No matter. Whatever you want to do. Make a motion to approve the personal action request. Check that, that's correct. I'll just check. Personal action request for Amy Powell. She'll be in the salary schedule LC-DC-1S2 with credited 9 years of experience and the effective hire date of November the 20th, 2023.
Second.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a second.
That'd be
Any further discussion?
yesterday. So next Monday.
If not, roll call.
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcott,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
It looks like you did have one sergeant opening, so you have all your sergeants at this point
Yes.
filled.
Yes. And
Two more.
yes, sir. And I've got one more, another individual that's got 5 years experience. He's another veteran. He's well-rounded from working the floor to assisting with transports, maintenance, whatever's needed. He's wears many hats. But
Is he local too?
he's from Todd as well.
Todd's losing their people.
We're more competitive in our benefits and things was a big consideration.
Boy,
So,
as you're promoting these, they're having to fill their vacancies.
and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm just, it's just the way life is, but
Yes.
I'm
We
glad.
had to adjust our salary schedules to
Keep that from
to be more competitive because other areas are paying what we're paying.
Mhm.
So that, unfortunately, sometimes that trickles down to other people that need to do the same thing.
Yes.
You explained that the first meeting we had.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was excellent that you had
So
that
he's-
under the new.
And his
pay scale.
Crimcast training is attached as well with his years of service.
He's got 5 years.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the personal action request of Stephen Lappin.
Lappin, yes, sir.
He'll be in base schedule LC-DC-1 with 5 years credit experience. His start date will be November the 20th, 2023 as well.
Let me have a look at it. So, your time's we put together.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Anything else for us, Mr. Dennis?
No, sir, thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
All right, let's try to get through these knocked out. Well, last one up is corner. Ben, do you have anything for us today? Ben, I appreciate you being here. All right, let's move on to department heads. See if we can get this off. Ginger's not here. She has some things going. Denise, do you have anything for us in archives? All right, solid waste. Nathan, I know. Why they even ask? Just come on up, Nathan.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Trash keeps on going. That's right. Litter abatement, I had a report for the magistrates. We picked up about 35 miles, 315 bags, and 11 tires. Appreciate the nonprofits, community service, and the jail and the work they do. We got some more nonprofits coming, so I appreciate all the groups that are helping out.
And Mr. Rogers has picked up an extra day or two on the schedule.
He was telling me.
Cover more ground.
He was telling me he was working 2 days, now he's up to 3 or 4 days. And so
Did
we're
that cover
proud of it.
68, 80?
Yeah, they're gonna.
Oh, it was horrible.
They stay on 6880 very often, so yeah, they work hard on that
Really
road.
bad. Okay.
So they sure do. Recycling report also was in there, and Tim and the crew got 26 bales of cardboard, and we had some metal and paper as well in the report, and so we're trucking on pretty good there.
No
We-
further problem when recycling.
No, everything seems to be, with the Sky Waste as well as our county recycling center, seems like things are going okay. Everything seems good. One other thing I wanted to mention is that we do have a new site that's requesting approval as a construction dump area. And this area is all 431 South on Charles Mack Road. And so we have not really had a test of our new ordinance we just passed, so we're about to get it. About to find out how this works, and the first one in a long time. It appears he's nearly done with his application. The problem is there's already material there. And so if anyone's watching this, don't do that. We ask you, don't put material there and hope for the best, because there are consequences to that. And this has to be basically approved by the court or else. So, but anyway, I just wanted to say that. But the reason we're doing it this way is the state EPA wants him to go this route to get this site approved by us, and then it'll be approved by the state as we passed in our recent update to the ordinance. And so we're expecting to have this done by the next meeting possibly, and then we'll need also a public hearing too, because that was also in the ordinance that we passed. So the reason I mention this is my plan is to rescind the ordinance and then talk with Judge Baker once the application comes through. And then unfortunately, we now as a county have to work with Olivia again. And so, and Olivia will help you out and we'll get you the application turned into you.
So you're saying that this down Charles Mack, it's the on the right?
Correct.
And so they're gonna make it like, are you saying they're gonna make it a public?
It'll be something where potentially construction and demolition companies that do that can bring material over to this site, but it'll be less than an acre is what it is.
Kind of like what Apex does now.
It's a big hole.
It wouldn't be what Apex does now, because there's no trash that stays at Apex. The trash would stay here at this site. So it's not a transfer station.
So this would be like a smaller scale of what's in Clarksville, like
Correct.
PTL and American Snuff.
Correct.
We've got.
That is
we've got to
correct.
say so though.
So,
It's yours, isn't it?
So if y'all have questions, he
Used to
will.
be my district, I lost it.
No, where did?
He seems so sad.
Seventh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's a huge hole, and like our water, the water line, they have dug the hole right by the water line.
Have you seen it out there?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
it's big.
It's a lot of material.
Yeah.
So.
So the
But-
question is, do we have a say?
Oh, absolutely. That's what you all passed in the ordinance update. And so he will be here with his application, and we'll get you the application as well. You know, again, I want to make sure kind of go over everything with the judge.
Absolutely.
And then, and then when everything's clear, and we'll get the application. Again, if it's not approved, there's going to be some problems for this individual.
Because
So,
he's already started.
He's already started it, yeah. So,
Ooh, don't ask my opinion.
all right.
All right, is that it?
Nothing else. Appreciate it.
Nathan, thank you for your hard work.
Amen.
We've already been over the EMS, unless you have something else, John? All right, well, let's move on. Let's try to
Sitting there
power
patiently
through
waiting.
for a couple of things as quick as we can. Next up is judges' announcements. We only have a few. Starting tonight, or actually tonight, November the 14th, is Community Thanksgiving Dinner at Adderville at 6 p.m. at Adderville School, sponsored by the Big Fish. I'm not sure what that is. I apologize for that, but it's sponsored by the Big Fish. November 18th, Open Hearts, Open Hands monthly food distribution from 9 to 11 at 717 South Lewisburg Road. Also, November 18th, clerk's office will be open for vehicle business only. And then November 19th is Downtown Christmas Open House in Russellville from 1 to 5 p.m. Hot cocoa stands will pop up around town during this time to benefit Isaiah 117 House expansion plans in Logan County. That is a full open house throughout the entire downtown district. We'll have some stuff here set up inside the historic courthouse, plus around downtown. Lots of different vendors and such. Moving on, I don't think we have any reports. Citizens participation, do we have anyone that needs to, I'm scanning the thousands in participation today, and I don't see any hands, no one moving forward. So if there's no one of the thousands in participation, we'll move on to old business. First, matter of old business, approve the contract with Axon Enterprise, Inc. for the purchase of new tasers, taser training for the Sheriff's Department. We discussed this last meeting.
I didn't have any problem with it. Laura sent me the entire contract.
Well, that's, I think, what we were waiting for, is to hear that.
We're excited for it.
What was the jurisdiction of venue?
Said the area where the contract is being performed.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Trying to find it for myself.
Do I have a motion to entertain?
I'll make a motion.
Right there it is.
Oh.
I'll make a
Thinking we'd
motion
go
to
back
allow
a
the
month.
sheriff to enter into this contract with Axon Enterprise Incorporated.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. Is there any further discussion?
159.
159.50. Spread out over 6 payments.
This was, this thing was cheap the first year and then got more expensive, right?
Yeah, it's because we're in the middle of the year, so it was a little cheaper on the front end. And then, as you can see, they give me time to budget for the next budget for that
I
partial,
remember that from last month.
that payment. And
I don't
then
know
after
why, but I had
that,
to
it
go
will
back to
become the
last
full
month.
amount.
So let me ask you this, after January 2028, this equipment's ours.
Yes.
And is there any ongoing maintenance or contract with them?
No, once it's completed, it's the full payment process, then it's ours. All that falls on us. But the thing about Axon is, and it's like the body cams, we enter into these contracts, and like our body cam is in between our second and third year. They'll come to us and say, hey, we're going to upgrade your body cams. No charge. Now, what they do is they want to sell you a little charge of the newest, latest version and add some new features. You can reject that. So we're actually going to upgrade our body cams to the next
new technology, but I'm not changing any features. Actually, I'm gonna reduce a feature. It's gonna reduce our contract costs. So in these, in a couple of years, between that 2 and 3 year mark, maybe more 3 and 4, they'll come to us, and if there's a new technology or a newer version of the taser, they'll say, do you want, we'll upgrade you to the new taser, and then if you want to buy the extra add-ons, you can, but we don't, so there won't be no one. So generally, midway towards the end of the contract, we end up with a new piece of equipment, and then like we're doing now, the tasers we've had for 4 or 5 years.
But at the end of 2028, if you didn't make any modifications or upgrades, what's the life expectancy after that of these tasers?
Well, it's like computers. You've got anywhere from a 2 to 5 year window of maintaining. These are just different. The tasers we have now, they're one shots, unless you carry an extra cartridge with you. So if we utilize it and it's ineffective, the taser is no longer a tool to use. These have multiple shots, so that's the new technology. So if you fire your shots, if it doesn't affect, then you can do another shot, and generally then that takes effect. But the officer's not having to basically, if you use it and it doesn't work, you toss it, and then you have to go to the next level of control. So new technology, there's new things with it, but that's generally how it works. It gradually runs out, and then, but we stretch them out. Now, they take our old tasers and they go into part of this contract, so that's a reduction in the price.
Is that already figured into that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're going to keep some of those that are still good and utilize them for court security and spares, because their settings, it works better for them. And so we were able to keep the cost down that way too.
Good deal. You seconded my motion?
Yep, where's the vote?
Okay, I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next up on new business is approve the second reading of ordinance 23-230-04, an ordinance relating to certain amendments to the personnel policy and procedure compensation plan and classification plan adopted on January 11, 2005, replacing administrative assistant and assistant finance officer at county judge executive's office, and create a position at the animal shelter for a part-time in the county judge executive's office.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. No other discussion. Roll call.
Hold on. Y'all going pretty fast.
Sorry.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
So we're not doing 4 and 5 and 2 and place of 2 and 3 again?
That's what it is.
That's what we just did.
You're looking at an amended agenda, that, the paper was.
That's the amended agenda.
I got y'all a new one, to keep y'all in line.
All right, next up, item number 3, approve the second reading of ordinance number 23-920-01, establishing a minimum setback requirement for the solar farm installations in Logan County.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
He's talking so fast.
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, with that being said, let's take a quick 5-minute recess, and we'll come back and finish.
Yeah, please do.
All right, let's get back to business. My apologies for apparently running through these as quicker than I should be. I was out of observance of somebody's time. Number 4, acknowledge the receipt of audit of former Logan County Clerk, period January 1, 2022 through July 31, 2022.
Everything good? No problem?
Everything looked good.
Okay.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Yeah, everything was fine. Yeah, sorry. You gave me a stare. I didn't realize what I was.
I was
all
looking
right.
down there, she's like,
It looked good, yeah.
yours good too, huh? Great.
Of course she's going to say that. But all right. With that being said, no discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 5, acknowledgement the receipt of the audit of the Logan County Clerk for the period August 1, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. And to answer the question, yes, everything looked good there.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
All right. Had a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 6. Oh, no, I'm sorry, number 5. No, number 6, my apologies. Approve the grant application and resolution from Department of Local Government for House Bill 1, Jail Arraignment Equipment Grant Project. Do we have any discussion on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do I have any other discussion on this grant?
Is there some particular equipment? Just curious.
It was the Jailers Association got together with the state, and the state had money, grant money, that doesn't cost the county anything, and that was purchased through Trace 3, and it's already been delivered. It was $40,000 worth of Zoom equipment that we could use and log into any court system, where if we're housing inmates from another county, if they can't make transportation and drive completely across the state, then they can have court. And again, it doesn't cost us anything. It's all through the Department of Local Government.
I see it now that it's a video equipment. I just was curious what the equipment was.
We got three systems.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other discussion? If not, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 7, approve the bond release of District 2 Constable John Moore.
I'm assuming he
Monroe.
resigned.
He passed away.
Yeah.
So move. It's John Monroe.
Did I say Moore?
Second.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Monroe.
Ooh.
My apologies.
Thomas, you made that motion, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
How did you say that?
Tyler seconding. All right. Thank you for that. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Once again, I apologize for saying that.
No, there's no problem.
Mispronouncing his name. Just glanced at it.
Judge, how many constables do we have now? Do we have one for every district?
Just, yeah, we have an opening.
So I was thinking, was there something on the ballot?
Yes, it was one on the
You got
ballot.
District 1 and District 6, right?
6.
4.
4.
All fours?
We
I
have
don't think we have.
one,
Honestly.
Danny.
Larry
Danny
Christie,
Perry.
Butch Inman, Danny
No.
Perry. I got those 3. Larry
Is
Christie.
it really?
Yeah.
Stephen still won? Okay.
You and Tyler have an inside information there, I
But
think.
there's one for every.
Yeah, I was trying to think, I thought there was something on the ballot about the.
There was, but it
there's
was
2
for a
of them.
write-in for one of the districts, but
That was for mine, wasn't it?
no one,
I was gonna say,
no one wrote
Your
in.
district, I think 3. It was on our ballot. I thought, I guess everybody got that. Everybody kept saying, what do I do with this? I said, nothing. That's for District 3.
He'd appreciated that.
Number 8, approve the maintenance agreement with HMC Service Company for HVAC at the Logan County Judicial Center. This is just to basically renew the contract for the
HVACs.
And the
Yeah.
prices were
Justice Center. Yes.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport,
yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 9, discuss allowing the judge's office to make arrangements for the county Christmas lunch.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second.
That's look on his face.
No discussion
I
on
love
that
the looks
whatsoever.
on his face. The looks are so
No, we normally talk about it for 2 hours and it's always the same thing, so.
Well, if that's the case, if there's no further discussion, roll call, please.
Catered
Davenport,
downstairs and the magistrate served the
Davenport.
food to the people. and-
Goodwin,
I think I remember that last
Yes.
year.
Wilcutt,
Same as last year, right?
Basically,
Okay.
yes.
Wilcutt,
Just one county employee. Yes.
They can walk through and we'll serve them.
I think that's cool. Very cool.
I'm waiting on Jason for talking. Harper,
Yes.
Crawford, Bolden,
Y'all got
Yes.
your hair next.
Baker.
Yes. Number 10, approve contributions to the Auburn, Shaco, and Lewisburg parades.
So moved.
Second.
Have
Can
a
I ask
mo-
how much that is?
$200.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
We
thank
done
you.
approved that anyway.
Yeah, it was in the budget. It's just they're us asking us to pay the money.
That was.
Yes.
Roll call,
I
please.
missed that. I'm sorry.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 11, approve the request for advance or reimbursement for NRCS for the stabilization of Mott's Lick Creek.
So moved.
Second.
A motion is second. Any other discussion?
Was that big, $100,000 bill?
Yes.
We've been talking about
It's
that.
unreal.
For
I'm done.
months.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
It even made it
Davenport.
to,
Yes.
Olivia's
Goodwin.
retirement and come
Good one.
back.
Yes.
Sorry.
You're good. Wilcutt,
Yes.
It
Harper.
has, ask her.
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Didn't you
I
do
was
it?
hoping it would be done whenever I come back, and
She's
it
had 3
wasn't.
kids, raised a family. And we're still talking about it.
I mean, they're in college now.
Fast moving
All right.
cog here.
Number 12, approve the appointment of members to the Logan County Library Board of Trustees. In your, on your iPad are 3 different names there.
Is the highlighted ones who were
Yes,
appointing?
yes, sir. The highlighted ones are the names.
Okay, make a motion to approve the appointment of Patty Slayton, Katie Meyer,
Meyer? Meyer.
Okay. And Mandy Henley to the Logan County Library Board of Trustees.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
No other discussion. Roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Number 13, hold public road hearing to rename Canyon Run Road to Canyon Run Road Loop. And I don't see anyone here to,
Anybody care? Y'all care about the loop?
Anybody opposed?
All right.
there's,
People like the loop.
All right, I'll make a motion to rename Canyon Run Road to Canyon Run Road Loop.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, and since there was no one here in public to argue it, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. All right, last item on you.
Can we make sure that Kelly is informed and get signs up pretty quick?
Yeah, I'll make sure I get that,
I
make
don't
him
think
aware
you
of
did
that.
A copy of that resolution anyway.
Okay,
Go get it.
thank you.
You're welcome.
What did we do without you?
I don't know.
How did we survive?
I thought we made it fine.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
I be hating on Olivia.
Number 14,
Still bitter.
approve the appointment of Raquel Nash and Laura Lee Roby to the Logan County Extension Board for a 3-year term beginning January 1, 2024 and ending January 1, 2027.
I'll make a motion to approve Raquel Nash and Laura Lee Roby to fill the vacant spots for the Logan County Extension Board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilco,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. With that being said, we're in executive session time, and we do have a matter of business we need to go into executive session for under KRS 61.810 1B, deliberations on future acquisition or sale of real estate property.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Hey, Ben.